Hello and hello and hello. I'm your girl Lana. Welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast. Welcome to the Cup TV, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And yeah, I'm your girl Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Per. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am drinking actually grape juice this time around, but I drank it all, so that's just what it is. I'm not drinking anything at the current moment because I just finished it before we came on air. But I have some more if I need some more. But yeah, that's it. That's it.
There you go. And what
Oh,
would you drink it out of?
of course, I always drink it out of my cup mug.
I need to get one. Like you
You
guys need
do.
to stop flexing on me.
I mean, you know where you get one? At lanagscreation.etsy.com. Link down below in the description and in the bio. Period. And we ship internationally, so no excuses. Come get your cup mug. We have our cup mug and all other cup merch. We have shirts. Well, not shirts yet. We
Socks.
have socks. We have other cups. We have
Bottles.
hats. We have things. And we have other stuff that's just in my shop that you can come pick up and check it out. So check out my Etsy shop and do some shopping. Period.
And I'm David Healy, and my claim to fame today is going to be that my sister was in a music video earlier this year by NF. She went and filmed it in Nashville, and she actually can barely be seen in the video, but it still counts. So that's my claim to fame. I'm basically famous because of my sister. And today I am drinking some water.
Period. I'm not pushing buttons like
That's
Logan,
okay.
so.
Okay. So, hi, you guys. I'm back. I know you guys missed me because I wasn't here on the last episode. I apologize. My life has been hectic. Hey, I'm Nay. I am your neighborhood polysexual, and I need to finish this big jug of water by the end of the night.
You better get to drinking, girl.
You have no time to talk.
That's a lot of water.
I'm trying. Like, it may get finished like at 4 a.m, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna
Period.
get the job done.
I believe in you.
I believe in you. You got this. You got this. And you know what else we got? We got claim to fame. Episode 5. They called it. It sounds like revenge. That's what they called it on the show. It looks like revenge, and it looked like revenge to me when I saw it. But I was like, but in the revenge in the best kind of way possible. We'll talk about it because I enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed this episode for multiple reasons. But the end of it is where I was like, yes, this is how you play the game. And I like it. I like it. But this is coming off the heels of Shane leaving, and everybody knew who Shane was. Shane was the layup of the season. Everybody knew who her relative was quite early, and it was like,
Baby Boo got her.
baby boo got her.
I was so mad. I was all over Twitter like, "You fine?" And we could have something going. She got my girl out. We could have something. We could have something special.
Something real.
We could have something real. Something honest.
Something true.
You know
And
what he goes and do? He goes and gets Shane out. And I was like, you know what? You're not even that much attractive to me right now. Like, I'm mad at you. Like, this man actually knows me. Like, I really wanted to add his celebrity relative and be like, fight me. Man, fight me.
I was
hurt.
I was still shocked. I was like, I didn't think he was going to pull the trigger on Shane. I was like, I thought, like everybody else was saying, Shane had him wrapped around his little finger, and was like, if you don't get me, pick somebody else and give me. But he had to do that because if he would have picked anybody else or the person they thought it was, he would have been wrong and would have been out. So he had to go with the sure shot. I wasn't mad that he went for the sure shot because he needed to go for the sure shot because Jeff Gordon ain't it for Carson. Everybody keeps saying Jeff Gordon. That ain't it. So he had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. So I'm sure it's an unpopular opinion, but I actually really like Cole. I think he seems
I
like
like
a really
Cole.
chill, sweet, attractive guy.
I like
And
Cole in the different way that you guys like Cole.
that's fair. But no, if this had been reversed and if Shane did the same thing to Cole, we would be living for it, would we not?
We would be. We would be.
It
We'd
was
be like,
it
yes,
was
girl,
cutthroat.
yes, girl.
It was
It's like
sad, but
that
it was
finger
cutthroat in the
thing.
best
That finger
way.
thing, like you put your fingers and you can't get it out. Either way, I probably would have been mad. Those are my two. Like I wanted them to stay. Like I like eye candy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, and both of them
And
are very attractive. Both
yes,
of them
very
are
true.
attractive.
And the only reason that I'm like, okay, Shane can go is because I was a little worried we were going to get a similar situation like we did last year, where the layup was Louise and she went very far in the competition. So I like that that's off the table and now people have to take risks. They can't worry about having something in their back pocket. So people are going to have to play a lot more loose.
Right.
So I like that.
I agree. I think that's the good side of this happening, where the layup is gone now. And so now people have to really try to focus on who is really who, because they have clues and ideas, but none of them seem to be right. Like,
I feel like this might be the season where they're just taking themselves out. And that's
Yeah.
kind of scary because it's a lot of likable people still on this cast. It's not like you're like, oh, I need that person to go. How like you kind of did last season. This season, you're kind of like, I'm rooting for everybody. Maybe 1 to 3 people more than others, but I would like.
I wouldn't hate them if they stayed.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I feel like outside of Cole and what's his name? Not the one.
Hugo?
Not Hugo.
Chris?
Is it Chris? No.
Gabriel?
JR.
Outside of JR and who's over outside of JR and Cole, I don't think nobody else is going to know who other people's relatives are. Yes, like Gabriel's relative is known, but I don't think I'm sorry, no offense to that demographic. So
The
what demographic?
YT demographic.
the
YT demographic.
24% of me. I don't think they're watching Wild and Out. I don't think they've seen
They're watching The Masked Singer.
But they're watching The Masked Singer, and they're watching him on Nickelodeon and Drumline and Good Burger and all the other stuff.
Long to see him on Good Burger and Nickelodeon. Be for real. If anything, they know him for American Got Talent and The Masked Singer.
And they know him for the man who married Mariah Carey.
And they know him for
I still
having
think they're too
kids.
young for that.
No, because no, I don't know. But they not go guess Nick Cannon, because they still are on point with thinking Gabriel's person is in the NFL, and they really think he played for Dallas Cowboys.
That's why because they seen the star. They're thinking the freaking star. It's probably exactly. That's what I'm saying. Outside of Cole and I don't think anybody else's relative is like, oh, it's this person.
Yeah. This is what's happening with this season for me. I feel like Hugo's relative is so much older, they won't know who he is. Same thing with Chris's relative. These young kids don't know who Donny Osmond is. They just don't know. So they're not thinking about a Donny Osmond or a Jimmy Carter or, even Olivia's relative is but she's still on TV right now. So they might know The Masked Singer and they might know who she is. But like Monet's father, me and Dave were talking about this earlier. I feel like JB Smoove is more black famous than he is white famous. And so I feel like they might not know who he is. They might they know his face,
but they don't know
they don't know his name. They be like, oh, he's that guy that dude who was on that show.
I
Like
couldn't
that's
have
who
told
he is.
you. We talked about it beforehand, but I could not have told you anything JB Smooth was in before we talked about it, Lana.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You won't know. You'll see his face and be like, oh, he's that guy from that show who did that thing, but you won't know his name. And so that's what's going to. I think we said it, David. I think Monet might be one of those people who won't get guessed, but might guess somebody wrong and go out that way.
Mhm.
If nobody ever guesses her, she's going to be there to the end because they're not going to guess her right.
They keep on like because of the hat. They keep on
Steve
Harvey or I was right. So it's like I feel like she might take a lot of the people out,
but she got to know who these people are, and right now she doesn't know.
She might take people out by
them guessing her,
by them guessing her and getting it.
She might get one person because somebody go say Steve Harvey because they stuck on Steve Harvey.
I hope we get it though because we know.
It's the hat that's getting them.
Last year, I was just dying for the moment that we were going to get somebody guessing Lawrence Fishburne for Elsie, and that never happened. And I was just waiting for it. I would have lived for it. So if we get that this time,
well, somebody actually guesses right. I don't know. I don't know if people will go guess JB Smooth. I don't know.
No, I want them to guess wrong.
Oh yeah, I want
they're
somebody.
all so confident. They're like,
I want that.
I know one black comedian, so it's got to be that one black comedian.
No,
exactly.
There's no way they're guessing her father.
No, and I want. You know who I want to do that so bad to guess Steve Harvey? Is Carson. I want Carson to guess Steve Harvey. It has to be her because she is so confident that it's Steve Harvey. And every time she say it, I'm like, yeah, please guess that.
I think Chris or Hugo is probably the only, or maybe Olivia who actually knows who Carson's person is.
Because I don't know if they know.
Was a shot in the dark, I think. I don't think that she confidently knows that.
It's either those three. Like the more clues and hints they get will know, because I can't see Monet or Gabriel or JR watching NASCAR. I'm sorry, I can't. No offense. I don't see them watching NASCAR to know who the relative is.
Well, they did know who Jeff Gordon was because Gabriel was like, "Oh, in North Carolina, that's a big NASCAR place. 24 is Jeff Gordon," which is true. It's all of this.
But Jeff Gordon's not from North Carolina.
No, he is not.
The other one is.
He's not. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is from North Carolina. It's just, I'm like, y'all are so close, but so far away. And that's what a lot of them, like, just Jim Carrey, this thing that they've been talking about. They talk about Jim Carrey all episode. It was Jim Carrey. I'm like, y'all guess Jim Carrey for Chris if you want to. You're going out the door because that's not who he is.
They're messing with them on purpose because that Ace card with the detective, Ace Ventura, pet detective. There's no reason. Like if I was there, I'd be like, yes, 100% somebody's related.
Because it's a mask up there too. And I'm like, the mask, the Ace Ventura pet detective, that gotta be it. But then they look at this dog, but I'm like, y'all, the dog is on a heart. It's a puppy with a heart. Puppy love is what it's telling you right now, but they're not seeing that.
People, right? You know you're dealing with young people.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know who these people are.
What are you talking about? I'm young.
Chris has his whole dad's face. His
whole daddy's face.
To the jawline,
everything. When the first episode, when he started playing that guitar and started singing, I was like, look at Donny Osmond's twin sitting on this stage. Look at him. Looking like your daddy. You know, look like the old people say, look at you looking like your daddy. Look at you. That is who he looking like his daddy.
That's like freaking Gabby Douglas' sister. You look dead on your relatives.
Simone Biles. Like you are Simone Biles' sister. I see you.
Look. They're too young.
Look, I feel like Dave 22.
Look, I feel like Davon on Big Brother. Hey, Tiffany sister. Hey, Donny Osmond daddy. I see you. I see, hey, Donny Osmond son. I see you. That's what I felt like. It's certain people I was like, I see. Cole was another one of the people. I was like, it took me a minute. I looked at him and I'm like, who is this boy looking like? And the more I stared at him, I was like,
see, His sister loves him too much. She posts him.
She posts him all the time. And that's why I'm like, I've seen him before, but I'm like, where did I see him before? And of course, I follow Alicia Keys on Twitter because who don't? But I'm like, I'm not Twitter, on Instagram. So I'm like, I've seen him before. But it was so good. It was just like, some of these people are so obvious. Some of them were really good. And then some of them you just like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to guess JR, honestly, because what happened on this episode. So let's jump into a little bit of the episode, because Carson is very upset with Chris at the moment, because Chris got a clue and he is not sharing his clue. And Carson's like, you promised that you would go share your clue with me. And he was like, I mean, I'll let you see it eventually. I mean, but he couldn't tell her he was going to let her see the clue in the same room with Hugo and Olivia sitting there, because he pulled Hugo's clue. So he couldn't be like, let me show you this clue while Hugo is sitting right there. But Carson is not having it.
Who was in this room again?
It was Olivia, Hugo, Carson, and then Chris.
Weird.
These alliances.
We called it 2 weeks ago. We said it like from the first episode or the second. It was the second episode. We called it. It was like the house is going to split, and sadly, it's going to most likely split based upon race, with probably like a swing.
With Hugo and Cole in the middle.
Hugo being the swing.
And Cole, because he got both genes in him. Cole is like, I can be white or black, so where do I go?
I don't like. It sounds so crappy saying that, but you can kind of. It's just natural. It's just a human thing. You kind of gravitate towards people that you grew up around or you know more about. Sad to say.
It's so funny because it is that is a thing, but it's always certain people, and Hugo is that one for this season, who is comfortable in any situation and around any group of people. Even though I've seen some mannerisms of Hugo once, like when he's around Gabriel and when he's around Monet, he's like, yo, what? And then he'll go around Chris and Olivia, and he's like, I don't know what we're talking about here. Hi, guys.
He's like, hey, don't do that. Don't forget who his grandfather is. He's code switching.
He's very code switching. And that's perfectly fine, because we code switch every day. And it's like, he's just really good at it. And I'm like, I see it. And even like in the real world, I have friends who know how to code switch, white friends who know how to code switch and be comfortable with the black folks and be comfortable with the white folks. It just is what it is, and it's great. I hated that. Hello, David sitting in between the two of us, like, yeah. But like, it's. I think it was interesting. Like when we saw it happen, I was like, yep, this is about to happen. But we don't make a big deal of it, because it's not like it's something like we're going to go against them just because of.
Right. I don't think it's intentional. It's more so you're
familiarity.
Kind of the people and helping the people that you know can help you.
Right.
True.
Now, if they were smart, though, this is the thing. This is where I would not do that, because I know some people are white famous that I don't know. So I'm going to need somebody white on my roster to help me out on some things that I may not know. And just like you help me, I help you, because you might not know somebody who's black famous, who ain't mainstream. Case in point, Monet's father may not be as white famous as he is black famous. So
I can guarantee you, out of those who are still left, it will be JR or Cole who's figured out first out of that group.
I mean, Cole
won't be figuring out too much anything after this episode. Sorry, Cole.
But going back to what you're saying, Lana, like, I do think it's important that people make those cross alliances, and we kind of get it this episode. We'll get into it after the challenge.
Yes,
but I like it.
I do too. I really do like it, and I didn't think I was going to like it, but I do kind of like it. Because so let's get into the challenge, because really it's just a lot of talking, and like I said, Carson was upset. And so then we go to the challenge, and the Jonas Brothers are like, "Hey, we're about to play telephone." They played it last season. I kind of enjoyed
It's a fun
telephone.
one.
It's a good
was
one.
crazy with telephone.
I love telephone, and I like the way they do telephone. So I was like, "Yes, period. Bring me back telephone."
It really says a lot about the contestants too, because there are some people who do really well with it, and some people are just terrible. And it's like,
Horrible.
girl, come on, you gotta get more than funny and
Right. And
funny.
funny. Like, even if I was going to do it in 2 trips, I'm going to listen to the first half first. Like, okay, bunny, song, beat, fun, whatever. I'm listening to that. I'm going to get at least 3. And I'm going to go run, do that, get those 3. And then when they come back, do it again. Like, song, race, da da da, sister, race. Get the last 3 and then go. Like, split it up in 2 if you have to, but you got to play it. You got to remember at least 3 at a time.
Right.
At least. But the team split off into Monet, Cole, Chris, and Gabriel against
Gabriel,
Olivia.
the captain.
Yeah, Gabriel's the captain. And then we have Olivia, Hugo, Carson, and JR. And JR is the captain. So they decided to let Monet and Olivia be the persons to get the clue first and then trade off to uh Gabriel and I think it was Cars. No, Olivia and no, trade off to Gabriel. Who did Olivia give it to? Hugo. Hugo. Yeah, Hugo, and then Hugo gives it to Carson, and then Carson gives it to Jr. So then Monet gives it to Gabriel. Gabriel gives it to Cole. Cole gives it to Chris.
That's right.
Those are orders, how it happened. And so the first, like we said, the first rhyme was like funny bunny, something sunny. I don't remember the whole thing, but Olivia and Monet are both having a very hard time at relaying the message that they need to give to their teammates. And so, with their relaying the messages horribly, their teammates are struggling horribly. I don't know about y'all, but if I saw JR pick up that sun one more time and put it on that goddamn table, I was going to scream. Oh, it was so much. I was like, stop putting that sun on the table. It ain't it. It ain't it. It was. Oh,
Well, that guitar was so hidden.
It was so small.
It was small. They showed it in the picture, and I did not realize it was as tiny. Like when they show like the close up of it, I'm like, okay, it's like a 2-foot tall guitar. No, it was not.
That was an amateur little bitty baby, little miniature guitar. I was like, how's anybody supposed to see that? I would have lost my mind because I would have never saw that behind whatever it was behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hey,
but
what you think? Oh, go ahead.
I do think we got to see kind of a learning curve from here. So Monet started off atrociously horrible.
Horrible.
Like she literally gave a clue of like 3 words, went back, came back and said the exact same words. And I'm like, but she figured out a strategy on how to get it. So I give her major props for learning as she was going along. I thought she learned on the fly a lot quicker than Olivia did. So props to Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I found it funny. I'm sorry. Because as a person who remembers like words and like sounds and pictures easily, I can set something down and forget where I put it 5 seconds later. So I understand. Telephone, it's last season was very funny. This season, I was just like, oh no. Oh no. Oh, I was like, I kind of closed my eyes. Like, you know, when you're seeing something you don't want to see happen, and like you listen to it, but you won't see it.
Have you ever seen a train wreck?
A train wreck. Like, oh,
that's
no.
a quote from Logan from last season.
You know what's going to happen, and you're just like, oh no. That's how I felt.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, Like Monet even had to just stop and take a break. Like, hold on, I am losing it. This is not. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't be this difficult. I was like, no, girl, get it together. Oh, I wanted somebody to get it together. At this point, I was like, Olivia, get it together, girl. Monet, get it together, girl. Like, just get it together. And then JR and that son was just driving me crazy. And like Chris was swapping things around. Like, is this it? Did it check? Nope. Just check. Nope. This went so long. Kevin Jonas had to leave because he had a show in Vegas that night. He literally had to leave the set in a helicopter because he had to get to Vegas. And nobody thought this competition was going to take that long. He thought he would be able to fly in, do the competition, end the competition, and fly on out of there. They were like, no.
Yeah, that was so funny.
That was the craziest thing. I was like, wait, what? It's like, I gotta go. I got a show, so
I thought you start giving hints.
Right.
Well,
you get a hint.
Speaking of that, though, I've seen some controversy. Like people on Twitter they were like, wait, why is Franklin giving hints to JR? Because he was like, you keep trying this son in every position. And people thought that was like unfair that Franklin would. But I mean, in that case.
I mean, that's kind of cool. If he put the son in every position and something's still wrong, he's just stating the obvious.
Right. He's probably like, I want to go to bed at some point.
I'm tired. Look, he was like, I wanted to go to the show tonight too in Vegas. I wasn't trying to be here. I wanted to go to the show too. But now I can't do it because one of us needs to still be here. And since I'm not performing in the Jonas Brothers, I guess it's got to be me.
Mm-hmm. My guess is there was such a time deficit at that point that he knew it wouldn't.
It wasn't going to change nothing,
even though it was still the first limerick. But
at that point, they should have just did in the challenge, nobody safe, and everybody's little picture clues get removed.
Like
y'all all failed.
The two captains, the one of y'all gonna be the guesses. Y'all just all failed. Like it is what it is.
That's what it should have been.
But whatever, they let it go. Kevin left. Franklin finished it well. Thank you, Franklin. And the winners were Monet, Cole, Gabriel, and Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Yes. And Gabriel wins the clue.
So one thing that I would like to see in a future season, I think it would be so interesting if the winner of the challenge got to pick somebody else to be safe as well, like on either team. That way they have to play some of their social cards and maybe take off whoever their layup is. I think it would just add a new interesting dynamic if we had more than one person safe each week.
For me, I kind of want it to be like a challenge-based type of thing. It's a team-based challenge. Instead of just that captain winning safety, that whole team wins safety. And it has to be somebody from the other team.
It's a lot of people off the board, though.
Right, that's a lot of people off the board.
Then don't lose.
I mean, if you do that probably works in like the first couple episodes, but like when you get down to like when it's 4 people on each team,
right?
Then it's like, oh, we only get to choose between these 3 people or 2 people because one of us, 2 people got to be the guesser. So we only got to choose between these 2 people. So I think, and if you don't know who neither one of they are, you like, shoot, I'm screwed either way. So I think when the first couple of team challenges, I do think they need to do maybe more individual like immunities or safeties, so they can be like, okay, we don't have to do this a team thing. It's a me thing. Like I put my own destiny in.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see the point of a team, like a team challenge when there's only one person with safety, and that's the captain.
Well, you don't have to be a guesser.
Safe.
You're safe from having to be a guesser, which honestly sometimes it's better to be the guesser,
right?
Because you can control your fate.
But you only want to be the guesser if you know for a short shot that you got somebody. I don't want to be the guesser if I'm still like I am 75% sure on you, and even less sure on you. So I would rather not. But after the competition, let's go into that because this is where the drama heats up a little bit. David, you want to talk about that? You go ahead.
Oh, I want to talk about Monet
Uh huh.
because Monet, she is a smart lady,
Mm-hmm.
very smart. But like what she's doing is a very calculated risk.
Mm-hmm.
She realizes Gabriel gets to pick a clue, so she's like, "Hey, why don't you just pick my clue?" Um, and I think this is so smart because if Gabriel's somebody she really trusts, and I'm assuming
She
he's
does.
probably now the person she trusts the most since Shane is gone, then having her clue in his hands protects her clue from being revealed by anybody else. Nobody else
Mm-hmm.
can pick it. Um, so, but you gotta really trust him. And this is
Yeah.
not a game where you can fully trust anybody. We saw that last week. She
Right.
should know better than anybody. You can never be too sure about somebody in this game. So it could go either way. Um, I'm intrigued, but he does do it. He takes her clue.
He does.
Do you
And
think this was the right decision for her to push him to take her clue?
I kind of feel like she is willing to take that calculated risk.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
a
like she's
defensive move,
it's
not
a
an
very
offensive move.
right. She's like, look, I would rather you have it in your hands instead of somebody like Chris getting it or somebody like Olivia getting it because then they'll share it with the entire group. And I'm trusting you wouldn't do that and share
Mhm.
it with other people. Now, it could blow up in her face. He could take that and share it with everybody he wants to, and somebody will figure it out. Or Gabriel could be somebody who would be an ally to her and can be his layup if he could figure it out and be like, you know what, I'll keep this to myself, and just in case I need it, then I'll use it. But it's a risky move, but I think it was a risky move that I probably would have taken because I would rather it been in somebody's hands who I can almost semi trust more than anybody else.
Mhm.
What you think, man?
I think if she had to find another ace spoon coon since her first one is out of the house, it's either out of Gabriel or JR.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And since Gabriel was the one who has the clue and who's going to get the clue,
And
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure if it was JR who like
one.
got it, she would have did the same thing, but it still would have been Gabriel and JR close. Either way, it's a
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to share the clue with each other.
Right. Um, Also, before he actually picks the clue, that's when we get the conversation with Chris,
Chris.
which
Mm-hmm.
was maybe my favorite part of the episode. There were a
Yeah.
lot of good parts, but this one I really liked because Chris goes to him and he's like, "Hey, you should do like I'm doing. You should get a clue and do not tell anybody who you got. You don't even have to tell me." And I feel like that opened up a door of trust between Gabriel and Chris because I think Gabriel realized, oh, he's not just trying to get information out of me, he's trying to help me. And that's when he opened up and said what Monet said. So he's already kind of breaking Monet's trust here. Um, he revealed that Monet wanted him to pick her clue. Um, but I really think that those two could be a very dangerous pair. And like I compared Logan and LC last year to Jason and Danielle from Big Brother. This is also kind of like Jason and Danielle because they had a secret alliance. Nobody knew about it. So I think we could get that same type of alliance between these two. So I'm intrigued.
I don't think the idea of getting a clue, not telling nobody what the clue is or who you like pick, that's just putting a target on your back.
Mm.
At this point,
Or
everybody's about to be paranoid. They don't know whose clue you got, and if you actually know who it is.
but Chris had a good reason why it doesn't put a target on your back because if you are such a wild card and they don't know whose clue you have, they might not vote you in as a guesser because they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to risk you having their clue.
True.
True
Yeah.
or not, but then it kind of puts you in a shitty place because then no one's really about to trust you that much. And two, if the guesser has your tea and they actually know who you are, You're done.
It's a double-edged sword for
It
sure.
is. It's a risky move, and I think both of them are like willing to take those risks just to get where they want to get. It could blow up in their face, and I think everybody knows it. Like I think Monet knows that having Gabriel have her clue could blow up in her face. I think Chris and Gabriel know that withholding the information only to themselves could be a reason why somebody now goes and pulls their clue. Now Chris's clue is already gone because Monet already has it, but now somebody can be like, oh, Gabriel's doing the same thing. I'm gonna go pull his clue, and I think Gabriel's clue probably could be very, very. If the clues are going to where they're going, because like Monet's clue literally just spelled it right out for Gabriel. He was like said it word for word exactly what it was. So I feel like these clues are really eye opening. And so I feel like if somebody is like, he's not telling us who he is and he's not sharing this information, I'm going for his clue. Nick Cannon is not hard to get.
Yeah,
if he got the best clues.
Especially from the other side where half of their relatives is linked to the Masked Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely know who Nick Cannon is.
Yeah.
They do. My thing is, if Monet feels like she can't trust Gabriel and she pulls his clue, it's over for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. She's a mastermind. If you don't think she will pop that man's mind when she gets a bite of who's his relative, oh please.
It's definitely, she's definitely more calculated than a lot of people. Well, the fact that people know it is dangerous for her because they're like, oh, she's so smart, she's a mastermind, she's got that.
They're trying to guess her, but they're guessing the wrong people.
They're gonna guess the wrong person. And this is what I said when they were like, she's the mastermind, her and Shane, for what they did to Jane. What they did to Jane, I was like, they didn't do anything to Jane. What they did was show Jane the clue. Jane came up with her own conclusion that Chris is related to Elvis Presley and ran with it and was wrong. They didn't tell her Elvis Presley. They just showed her the clue and let her guess for herself. So I was like,
they took credit for it.
They sure did.
I do believe that was Jane. That was on Jane.
That was all on Jane. But
look what we did.
And see, this is what was funny is they were like, oh, I love that for us that they think we're masterminds. Look at what we did. Like, I love that for us that they think that.
They gave her like she was already like confident, but they gave her more confidence.
Because she just took the clue and read it wrong. They were like, yo, you're right. Fools like, rush in.
There's like, you sure? She's like, I'm certain. There's like, yeah, you're so smart. You're so smart. And it's like,
but I think they probably kind of believed it
too. The clues that she was saying, a Russian doll, rush in, and fools rush, the love and fools and love rushing.
Love Craig.
But that's all right, and it could be. And Vegas that was a thing. It could have led to that, but it just didn't lead to the right teen idol. It led to a different teen idol.
I think where they kind of went wrong is they should know that the clue won't just be a bunch of random words. It's going to be somewhat of a phrase. And so they were just picking up on random keywords to connect it to Elvis, and that's not how they do it.
No. And that's why when like Gabriel looked at his clue and was like, oh, Saturday Night Live, curb your enthusiasm. Like, it was laid out for him. And I was like, wow, this clue, even I would get it. And I'm horrible at Reba's puzzles. But I was like,
Monet's related to Larry David.
Larry David. That's who he's related to. It's like, it's crazy. But
they want to just be like, have Steve Harvey ever been on Saturday Night Live? Have he ever hosted? Like, they really about to try to collect Steve Harvey with Saturday Night Live. They gonna definitely get Steve Harvey at some point. They're gonna try it. They were like, Kenan Thompson plays Steve Harvey on Saturday Night Live, right? Because and even Gabriel was like, was it Kenan Thompson? Nah.
Kenan Thompson deserves a royalty check for this. How many times he's getting mentioned?
And I'm like, y'all actually think Kenan Thompson got a daughter Monet's age?
But they're probably like, okay, maybe she lied about it being her father.
Yeah, maybe it's her uncle, maybe it's her brother, maybe it's
Her cousin. Yeah.
her cousin. Like, yeah, it's.
I can't see nobody in this game right now. I'm guessing herself. Celebrity.
I don't think so. I think they just she go get people out because of that. Because they go get Steve Harvey. It's Kenan Thompson.
She's going to be so catty about
in a minute, it's gonna be Chris Rock. In a minute, it's gonna be Kevin Hart. Every black comedian. They just gonna start naming every black comedian out there.
And it's gonna be the wrong one.
It's gonna be the wrong one. Yeah, do not go guess him. But then Carson has a conversation with Cole. This is where I thought it got good for me. Cole was like, I am not about to go down without a fight. So I'm finna figure out how to get the target off me and put it on somebody else. And he went to work. He went to work. He talked to Carson, and Carson was like, well, what did you think? What do you think we should do? I should do. And he was like, well, I know my relative's name is kind of going out there. And she's like, I hadn't heard anything. But he was like, well, I mean, if you look, you got Jim Carrey. I've heard about him. Like, Jim Carrey also deserves a royalty check for the episode because he got named so much. And he went to everybody. He was like, we should try to do somebody else, not me. You should go after this person, not me. I was like, okay, Cole, I see you. I see you trying to work. And I honestly, like, Carson had picked up on Alicia Keys this episode. Now, we don't know if the editing how or when she precisely picked up that Cole was related to Alicia Keys, but they didn't show it till this episode. I'm like, girl, we knew that 2 episodes ago. But she might have known it 2 episodes ago too. They just didn't show it to, the narrative is that she just figured it out. I don't know. I kind of was like, okay. Is she go pick him? Is she mad enough at Chris to pick Chris? I kind of wanted her to pick Chris and go home at this point because I thought that'd be hilarious. Not that I have anything against Carson. I just like to see people guess wrong. It's just it does something for me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, this was probably one of the times that I felt the least sure about who the guesser was going to pick. I thought it could have gone either way. And first of all, we didn't even know if they were going to pick JR or Carson to be the guesser. So there was a lot up in the air. And I really liked that about the episode because a lot of the other episodes, I just kind of saw where it was going. So this one left me in a little bit of suspense. So I appreciated it.
I said it earlier, out of that group between Monet, Gabriel, JR, and Cole, the 2 people that people are going to guess easily for their relatives was Cole and JR. It's going to be harder for Gabriel and Monet for people to guess their relatives. For some reason, for like Gabriel, of course, we know who his relative is, so we know what the starring means. But for them, they're just like, he's big, he's buff, he said football. Dallas Cowboys, I see a star.
Right.
That's just a flying in their head. They're just like, yep, got it. So JR.
Hugo is convinced. Hugo is convinced that Gabriel is an NFL star. Yeah, now they were not. They did kind of go away from JR not being related to NBA star this episode because at first they were like, oh yeah, he's related to somebody in the NBA, but then they were like, maybe there's no basketball on the wall. There's no net. There's nothing to refer to the NBA. Nothing. But it is a lot of stuff on this wall referring to singers. And then he had a chef's hat and a pacifier in his mouth. So he's related to little baby. The baby. He's related to the baby.
I'm telling you, I said it earlier. They're going to go. They're going against Cole or JR. The other 2 is going to be, especially Mona. It's going to be real hard to get her out. But I'm telling you, it was Cole, and it's going to be easier to guess the relatives just based upon who they are.
I don't know if they're going to guess. Well, they'll guess JR's eventually, but I don't know if it's going to be right away. Like,
it's going to be before Monet and Gabriel, though. That's
yeah, probably.
I
would not, knowing who JR's related to, I would not see it. Like,
I wouldn't see it either.
Nothing about him reminds me of his brother.
They don't look alike.
They don't. Nothing about JR screams this relative to me.
No.
So I'm like, I probably wouldn't guess like that pacifier would have made me think, is he related to the baby? Maybe. But like, do we put the baby on I don't know. With I don't know what's I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't guess. I wouldn't be so sure on JR. He would still be a big question mark in my book. Like I'd be like, I don't really know. But so like I said, Cole goes to work trying to get it off him. Carson is still trying to figure out who she's gonna guess if she guesses. JR is like, I don't know he said, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with Chris because I think Chris is related to Jim Carrey. That's who I'm doing. That's what I was thinking. And he tells Cole this, and Cole's like, yes, JR needs to be the guesser, so it's not on me. So Cole goes to Gabriel, try to tell him to convince Monet to vote for JR, and just trying to get everybody to vote for JR because he knows JR is not going to guess him. We get down to the elimination, and everybody is like still trying to figure out what they want to do, and they go into the Voto booth. I just love saying that every week. The Voto booth is just so cute to me. They go to the Voto booth, and everybody places their votes, and they decided that the guesser this week is gonna be Carson.
And it was a very split vote. It came down to Hugo's vote.
Yep, a very split. I was shocked by that. I was like, wow, okay. All right, we splitting the votes. The house is so split, it's ridiculous, but it's interesting. But so Carson is the guesser, and Carson decides that she is going to guess Cole. Now, at this point, I did not know who she was going to try to guess. I had no idea.
Yeah. It could have gone either way for me. I did feel like, based on the edit, I feel like Chris has a little bit long term of a story in this show, so that's the only reason. But then again, she would have guessed Jim Carrey, so that would have sent her home. So
Right, exactly. But she picks Cole, and she guesses Cole is related to Alicia Keys, and she is right, and Cole is eliminated.
Not back to back.
Back to back. That's what you sent your boo thing home because of a layup.
we need live feeds in the jury house.
You sent your boo thing home because she was a layup. And then she turned around and had already guessed who you were related to before she left, told her friend, and they all know. And now they turned around and got you out the next week.
I know. Would it be more of a Polly and Zakiya reunion or a Polly and Davon reunion?
It's probably a Polly and Davon because Shane was a little.
This is who I laid with.
This is who I laid with. That's it. Oh yeah, she was not happy with Cole. She even wrote in Monet's book, Cole needs to go next. And Monet was like, "I got you, girl." Period.
She said, "Say less.
Say less. Say less." Got you. And it was just that, and that was it. And
I know.
Cole's gone.
My thing is like, how when you're being guessed, how do these people keep such straight faces? Because I would like, as soon as they say my relative, I'd be like,
"Oh no!" My facial expressions, because everyone's wrong. I would did and everyone's right. I would have did that meme where she just like the judge was calling her name and she just.
When Jane guessed Elvis for Chris, I don't know how he didn't just start laughing like immediately. He just kept a straight face, and I'm like, okay, props to you.
See, for me, I would do the complete opposite. Like if you guessed me and you guessed wrong, I'll be like,
please, Lana.
Oh, and I'll be so devastated. And then when it comes up and they do the countdown and they win, I'll be like,
me, like when like Frankie goes, "Are you sure?" After they guess, "Are you sure?" Don't ask me, "Am I sure?" Because now I'm about to second guess myself.
Right.
I might change the name. Because why are you asking me, "Am I sure?" Now I gotta change the name.
Yeah, I would do that. Now if you guess me right, I'm just be like, just give you this straight face, like, I hate you right now, right?
In their
I can't
face.
stand you. It's like, but if you guess me wrong, I'll be like, oh,
Lana,
I'd have a hard time.
nope.
celebrate.
Try again, baby. Try again. Don't come
I'd
for
have a
me.
hard time picking somebody if I really like their celebrity. Like, it would be hard to pick Cole, like knowing I'm going to say Alicia Keys because I like Alicia Keys. I don't want to make her mad.
Well, Alicia keeps mad at me for kicking her brother out. But then I'll be like, but Alicia, you got to understand, I'm trying to win this money. You got the money. I'm
Right.
trying to win this money.
Like, right? It's like your celebrity relative isn't old. Like, okay, she's still relevant. Okay, you still still popping out here. Okay,
She's still making money. She's still she's still giving you money. Like,
girl.
Also, it's crazy that they knew that Alicia Keys' brother had dated Emma Watson, and he mentioned having a ex who lived in London. Like, that's crazy that they picked that up and had that stored in their brain.
it's the craziest things you remember when you like. I think when in this situation in this game, they have some stuff that they just hold on to that you would never really think about in your everyday life in real life. Like, I would never think about somebody dating Emma Watson. I don't even know. I don't even care who Emma Watson dated. But if I'm in this house, I'm like, oh, I know who dated who. I know who did what, and I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna write it in my little book. I'm gonna be on my little notepad, like, and then let somebody mention, oh yeah, I got a girlfriend in London, Emma Watson. But yeah, I just think it's just one of these things where in the situation like this pressure cooker that they in, this is all they thinking about right now. This game. They ain't got nothing going on the outside but this game.
Right.
It's like Big Brother. That's all you think about 24/7.
I'll be looking at that clue wall 24/7.
It'll drive me crazy.
Just looking at the clue wall.
This game is not for me because it will drive me crazy. Because I will be looking at that clue wall all day long and I'll be contemplating every little thing. And then when they just changed the clue wall and started adding some things on it this week, that would drive me insane. Because now I'm like,
new items.
Like, now I got to think about what these mean and how it connects to this and what it connects. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Not for me. But we usually go into speculations and spoilers at this point, but really, what do we all know? We all know.
We know who everybody is.
But you know what is impressing? Well, maybe not impressing me, but maybe making me go like, huh? This was the first episode that anybody ever even thought about mentioning Olivia. And still nobody, it was like a snippet of maybe who Olivia is related to.
We talked about it 2 episodes ago where Brooke mentioned it. Olivia looks like an actress.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't actually look like her relative because right when we told Brooke who her relative is, Brooke was very shocked and was like, ugh, I don't like them. It was like, I think the red hair goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like if someone doesn't get her clue or they get her clue and read it, they're going to guess an actress.
Yep.
I mean, but she is an actress. She's been in movies. She is an actress.
Plus the best.
But that's not what she's known for, especially not right now. But then I was looking at the clue wall, and all the clues that are meant for Olivia make sense to me. I'm like, I see that. But they're like, Carrot Top? And I'm like, no. Are we serious?
And I was like, oh, I could kind of see it. When they
right, but I'm like, but that could be, maybe. But I'm like, the funny bunny, she was a Playboy bunny. She was funny. And she did that whole comedy thing on Singled Out and all. Like, and then a stripper ball, I'm like, that's just her being a Playboy bunny. That is her as a Playboy bunny. It's so... I was like,
well, I think the stripper pole has to do with Lil Nas X.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not the stripper pole wasn't for her. It was for Lil Nas X.
It could be for both.
True.
Honestly, it could be for both.
Was there a Scream reference on the wall? Because Jenny McCarthy was in Scream 3.
She was. She was. I don't know. I just like, but the bunny and the funny bunny makes me like. I see the clues, but
True.
nobody's shit. Somebody has to pull her clue, and
Yep.
that's what's gonna have to happen for it to start clicking to people. They have to pull her clue, but nobody's even thinking about pulling her clue. Like they just don't even know she in the house. I'm
She's
like, do
laying
they?
low. Yep.
She's
And
lying so low, she's almost invisible.
right. I want to see this family tree too, because Lana and I were discussing ahead of time, but
Hmm.
Jenny McCarthy is already related to other celebrities. Like she's married to Donnie Wahlberg. And then her cousin is Melissa McCarthy. So really, if she's related to Jenny McCarthy, she's related to a bunch of celebrities.
Yeah.
Donnie Wahlberg is brothers with Mark Wahlberg. So it just
And
keeps
all of her
going.
uncles are nookies on the block. Because
Yeah.
period, because that's what they do. But like, yeah, it's weird. I'm like, but she is lying so low, she's almost invisible. If they don't, if she like, if it wasn't for this challenge, I wouldn't even remember she was here. And because she got so much screen time for not knowing how to give the clues correctly. But it's just so I'm like nobody is even looking at Olivia, and I'm like, wow, that's wild to me. That's wild to me. But I think that's the only thing I came up that I was confused. Anything else y'all want to talk about or mention on the show that just have you just like what?
No, that's not really it. I mean, I don't have anything else as far as spoilers, at least. Nope.
I have nothing. I have nothing. So you know what? I think that's about to do it because yeah, that's it. That's all. We ain't got nothing else to say because they don't even show me scenes no more. Like what's happening next week? We don't even get scenes for next week.
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, we don't even do that no more. Okay, thanks. Uh, so that's it. Y'all here on YouTube, do all the YouTube things like, share, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Check us out on all of our social platforms on The Cup Pod, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, where we put up stuff daily and stuff so you know whenever all of our videos are going to drop. Follow us on Twitter. I forgot to put
Yeah,
May's Twitter link down there, but
right
it's
there.
okay. It's right there in her name. You see it. You see it. Follow her, follow David, follow me if you wanna. And I think get your cup merch. Because yeah.
Give me about a week. I want to have
Take
one.
take your time. We got you. I got you. Get your cup mugs whenever you can. But you know it's here. And that's it. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
I deserve